The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing day. I'm excited to be joining you as we talk about creating forward momentum in your life. So stepping forward in your life, in your health, and with your success, however you may define that. And I have some wonderful experts joining me today as we really delve into success around our health and success on the goals that we're setting in our life, that we're wanting to move forward in, whatever way that may be. So we've got some great support that we're going to be able to tap into today. And for those of you who are listening live, you are welcome to call in between 11:20 and 11:40 Pacific time. You'll hear that call-in number every time we go to commercial break and come back. We would love to have you join us and call in live for those of you who are able to listen to our show live today. And I just wanted to take a moment to connect heart to heart. So if we could take a collective breath together, deep belly breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, just to bring us fully present. And I wanted to share something with all of you today. It's something we are going to be announcing this afternoon, but many of you have been listening as we've talked about this forthcoming book, Come Out of Hiding and Shine. Well, today is the day that we're going to be releasing that book. So this afternoon, you're going to see us sharing that throughout social media, that the book is now live and available on Amazon. So we're super, super excited about it. And those of you who've been leaning in and listening and waiting with anticipation, today is the day. And that book again is Come Out of Hiding and Shine. And just watch for it on social media, or you can do a search on Amazon and pull that book up. We're very excited to be bringing that forward and tying into today's subject about stepping forward. It's a choice. There's an action we get to take in that, whether it's in our health, it's in our life, it's in our business. And one of the things I find is we can struggle with visibility. We can struggle with being willing to be seen. I find so many of us have this huge heart to serve. We want to make a positive difference in the world. But where we tend to shy away is being seen on the same level. And so we walk around sometimes feeling like the best kept secret. If only they knew how you could change their life, what your gifts are, what you're bringing to the world. And that's what we want to really encourage you to do today in our conversation, to step forward, but be willing to be seen on the same level that you are willing to serve. And that's a choice that you get to make. And if you're struggling a little bit with hiding, sometimes we hide in the public eye, sometimes we hide in a lot of different ways. I want to encourage you to lean into the wisdom that you're going to hear today. I encourage you to lean into the book, Come Out of Hiding and Shine, as it helps you get support. Because life is not a solo journey, and that's a lot of what this show's about. We want to walk beside you. We want to encourage you. We want to empower you on your journey. And we're going to have some great tips that we share with you today, some great tools, And we have some free gifts that we're going to make available towards the end of the show. And these gifts are things that you can take with you. You can start applying into your life now so that you're able to have that same access to experts like I do. So I want to encourage you to lean into today's conversation. Call in with any questions that you have. Really think about, am I getting that forward momentum that I'm looking for in my life, in my health, in the success, your definition of success, how you define success? Are you moving forward in that? Or are you needing a little support? That's what today's time with us is about. That's why we're here today, is to support you on your journey, to keep that forward momentum going in your life, in your health, in your business, so that as you go out into the world, you're doing so in a way that you're feeling empowered. You're in that leadership position in your life, and you're touching lives in the way that you uniquely are made to touch others' lives. So let's breathe that in deeply. Big belly breath. Beautiful. And I want us to take a moment to get still. In our busy life, we're frequently running from one thing to the next, crossing things off the to-do list. Those of you who are driving, I want to invite you to stay safe, both hands on the wheels. Those of you who are able to, though, I encourage you to sit back in your chair, feel it fully supporting you. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Take a deep breath through your nose, filling your belly. Breathe out through your mouth like a straw. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Take another breath. And in this quiet space, I want to give you a moment just to think about, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, inspire you, that will support you in being willing and actually moving forward? It's not an accident that you're here today listening. There's something here for you. And I encourage you in this quiet space as you're breathing, and we connect heart to heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, that you listen to the wisdom, whatever it is that is being placed on your heart, that will support you today, that you need. It can come in a picture, a phrase, a memory, a sound, fragrance, all different ways information's given to us. I invite you to receive whatever is being placed upon your heart. And in fact, be willing to lean and receive whatever it is that you need today. And when you're ready, come back into the room. Take one more breath. Open up your eyes. Become fully present. And I encourage you to actually write down whatever it is that you need today that will encourage you and support you on your journey. Because it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to miss and move on to the next thing. But if we can keep at top of mind what it is that you need, that you're leaning into, that will support you, it's a much easier to recognize it, to lean into it, to say yes to that which will serve you. So let's take one more breath together. Wonderful. And I'm going to go around our virtual room here and give our amazing guest experts an opportunity to share just from the heart, about a 30-second share about anything that was placed on their heart, either as they were getting ready for the show today or when we took that moment to pause and connect heart to heart. So Kellie, I'd love to start with you. Did you have something placed upon your heart?
I did. I felt as we went through the breathing exercise, more than preparing for the show, but in that moment, I was reminded of an African saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I feel like that is really, for me, that really hit home for what we're doing here today.
I love that. Do you mind repeating that one more time? That was beautiful.
Sure. And of course, it's African, so I don't guarantee that it's perfect, but it's the way I remember it at least. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I
love that. Thank you for sharing, and I want us to go together. Thank you for sharing, Kellie. Beautiful. And Scott, how about did you have something placed upon your heart?
You know, it's interesting. I'm sitting here on this beautiful fall day. I'm in downtown Chicago, and everywhere that I look, I'm finding little small things that I'm thankful for today. And if we really take the time every day to take that breath in and go down, not from our mind, but down deep into our heart and experience the world that way, we can find lots and lots of things to be thankful for, as opposed to all the things that we're regretting and that we don't want in our lives. And as you're going through the breathing and your meditation, I'm looking at all the people walking by. I'm looking at the cars on the streets and the wind blowing in the leaves on this beautiful day. And there are hundreds, maybe thousands of things that we could be thankful for every day. And just taking the opportunity to give thanks for them, and in doing that, seeing how much better your life becomes.
I love that. What a beautiful practice. To take that breath, go within, and actively looking for things that we're thankful for. Beautiful share. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I was speaking last week at a women's circle, and at one point at the event, they gave everyone in the audience a choice. And they could choose from a few different things of what they wanted to spend time on and focus in on during the next month's time of coming together. And they listed some beautiful topics that were just powerful and encouraging. And the one thing that almost all the hands said, yes, that's what we want to focus in on, was gratefulness. That they wanted to spend an entire evening focused together as a community on being grateful. And it was really powerful. So I just want to encourage you, as we're thinking about this and we're looking at going far, as Kellie shared, together. It is not a solo journey, going together, really bringing that practice of gratefulness into your life and into your heart. And choosing that perspective. Be actively on the lookout. I find when I take a few moments and I start listing the things I'm grateful for, there's more and more that start popping into my mind. And if I was a little bit discouraged or down, my perspective instantly shifts because I changed the focus on what I was looking at. So I encourage, if any of you are a little discouraged and you're wanting to step forward, and that's some of what attracted you to our time together today, I want you to know that we're with you. We're in this together because we want you to go far. We're thankful that you said yes to you and you're joining us today in spending this beautiful time together with us. And I want you to get the most out of our time together. And here's how I want to encourage you to really give yourself gifts throughout this show. We have these magical 2-minute moments disguised as commercial breaks. And I'm going to encourage you, instead of running off and looking to cross things off your list, stay present and focused and give yourself the gift of those 2 minutes to breathe deeply, those deep belly breaths that lowers our stress level, lowers our cortisol, keeps us present. And think about the things that you're grateful for. Think about how you can go together with others, either walk beside others or let people walk beside you so you can go the distance you're called to go, so that you can step forward in a meaningful way. So let's take a moment, breathe together as we lean in to our first magical 2-minute moment, and we'll look forward to talking to you when we come back.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you took the opportunity to lean into those 2 minutes, carving them out just for you, breathing deeply, listening, receiving, processing what's being shared, whether it's through the radio show or just sometimes things that are being placed on your heart. I encourage you to take those 2-minute moments throughout our show today and really be nourished in that time. Listen, receive real time. Now, rich experience that you can build throughout the show. And actually, that's a transferable thing that you can take with you and build those 2-minute moments into your life throughout the day. But I encourage you to really take advantage of that during our show time today. But let's lean into our first expert interview. You got to hear a little bit of Scott's heart in our opening segment, being thankful for all the things that he was seeing around him. But I wanted to share a little bit of his formal background with you before we get into our formal interview so that you know you have more information and context for all of who Scott is and what he's bringing to the table today. So Scott, he works with CEOs and sales and business experts, Olympic performers, and people that are really wanting to move forward powerfully in their business, in their life, with their health. He is a NeuroPerformanceologist. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, Scott.
Very good.
A speaker, a coach, author, and he's used these powerful success technologies for himself to have lost over 180 pounds. He's appeared on Oprah, Howard Stern's show on a regular basis, Fox News, and is passionate about helping you overcome obstacles, increase your business, and step into your success. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the amazing Scott Schmaren to the show. Welcome.
Thanks, Rebecca. That's very kind of you. Very kind.
Well, I'm excited to have you here today and share some of your wisdom and your heart and your passion with us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, can I start with a heart question? Really, why this work of helping people in this way overcome obstacles is something that's personally so important to you?
It's important to me. You know, I've always had that little voice in my head, even since I was a little kid, that I needed to help people, and I needed to make a difference in this world, and I really didn't know how I was going to do that. And then going through my own journey of spending most of my life being morbidly obese, gaining weight, losing weight. You know, at my peak, I'm a giant. I'm 5'6". Sometimes I lie and I say I'm 5'7". I weighed 360 pounds and I had a 56-inch waist. I was almost as big around as I was tall. And going through this torture of why I wanted to change, but I couldn't change. I would change for a while and go back to what I was doing, but I didn't want to go back to what I was doing. And it started me on this journey of exploring how my mind worked, learning different modalities, and creating wonderful things. And as I changed, the voice in my head got louder and saying, you know what, this is your vehicle. This is what you need to do to help people and to make a difference in this world. And it's brought me to where I am today.
Thank you, Scott, for sharing. And I just wanted to take a moment and share, if I could. The first time I heard your story, and we were able to, in a different format, go in a little bit deeper. What struck me was your heart and your compassion and your love that reached out as you were sharing your story. To me, you're someone that has really struggled with this challenge that it was for you, come through that, and now are really walking the talk of helping others, whatever their goals are, that they're wanting to step forward, and their obstacles help them do that powerfully. So I want to thank you for the work that you're doing and the willingness to help others in this way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, can we talk a little bit about what perhaps stops people? Because you mentioned that even in your share, that you found there were times that you were continuing to do the things that you didn't want to do, that you had trouble making the change, and then you discovered how to do that and were able to move forward powerfully. But what do you find has people being stuck, that they're not being able to change in the way they're wanting to change or to accomplish the goals? Like every New Year's, it's the same goals. Why is that we're getting stuck?
I think that's a great question. And here's what I've found. You know, I do a lot of speaking and I coach a lot of people. And many people go through life wanting to make change, and yet very few actually succeed in doing it. And it's not because they're smart enough or they have the willingness to change. They really have everything inside of them that they need. But they're not using the two most important tools in the tool bag that they have, and they already possess those things, and that's patience and persistence. You know, we live in a world where everything is now. So what do? They try something for a little while. Maybe they have a moderate amount of success, so they start to move forward, and then they get pushed back from their old habits and their old behaviors, and then they see it as an insurmountable wall, which is where they need persistence to push past it, and the patience to keep going through time. However long it's going to take you to accomplish what you have to accomplish is how long it's going to take. Patience and persistence are how you go along that journey in that period of time. And using those two tools, patience and persistence, are the two things that are necessary for you to get where you want to go.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that these are things that we already possess, patience and persistence. And is there a way that we can start changing today? So perhaps supercharging our patience and persistence, or accepting or honoring the process. What suggestions or tips do you have that we can start applying in our lives today?
I think my suggestion would be this, is I'm sure that most of your listeners are reading books, they're doing programs, they're doing things to try and better and change their lives. And my suggestion for them is just to keep doing it, is find a way to leverage it where they just keep being, I'll use that word, persistence and patience again, like one of the things I knew about myself is I started writing a journal, and I started keeping track and writing out affirmations when I first started this. And I knew that I would probably do it for a week or 2 weeks, and I would start to wane, and I'd miss a day, and then suddenly I wouldn't be doing it anymore. But I also knew I was really good at keeping my word. And I used that leverage of keeping my word, and I wrote out a contract with myself. And I wrote out a contract for 30 days. I signed it and said, okay, I'm going to do this for 30 days. Here's my word. And after 30 days, I have the option of quitting or renewing it. And if I do another 30 days, I have to finish the 30 days. There's no in between. Either I finish or I don't. And so what I did is I used that leverage, and it kept me going for the 30 days. And every day that I did it, it became easier and easier. And I've been doing that for almost 14 years now. And so I guess my advice would be is just keep going. And there's going to be days you absolutely don't feel like doing it. That's the exact day that you need to do it. Just make yourself do it. And that little ridiculous voice in your head is going to try and convince you that you've done it enough. It's not working. Oh, you can do it tomorrow. You've had a hard day. You can't listen to the baloney that's going on inside of your head. You just got to do it no matter what. And the wall that it puts up is going to seem insurmountable. This giant wall of goo is going to seem insurmountable, and it's a mirage. It's probably about 2 inches tall. And all you need to do is step over it or step through it, and you'll see that it really wasn't that hard to get through. But you got to make the decision that no matter what, you're just going to keep pressing on. If you're not getting the results you want, just keep pushing on. You will eventually get it. It's what the most highly successful people do, is they do simple things on a daily basis that the average person is not really willing to do.
Thank you for sharing this. I really appreciate it. And I love this. I loved how you were actually playing to a strength that you had, that you're really good at keeping your word, and you signed that contract and you kept moving forward, and that willingness, no matter what, to keep taking those consistent steps. Listeners, I want you to think about what's a way that you can play to your strength, that a contract or a way playing to your strength, you can make a commitment that you will do. Perhaps even having someone support you in that, because it's not a solo journey. We want to go the distance. So perhaps bringing someone to walk alongside you day by day as you are moving forward and cheer you on even. I know for myself, if I can have people cheering me on, even if I'm cheering myself on, that helps me continue to move forward and celebrate the small steps every day as we are moving forward in the things that matter most to us. Now, Scott, I know that you've put together an amazing gift for us today. Do you mind taking a moment to share a little bit about that?
Yes, I put a gift together for you guys last night that I thought would be, I was looking at the topic of the show. So there is a single most powerful state that you can access that is not hard to access, that will allow you to be your best whenever and whenever you want to be. And you have my email address. You can give my email address out. If any of your listeners want to email me, I will send them back. I made the recording last night for this. I made a recording for them that allows them to get into a relaxed state and allow them to access that most powerful state they can be in to be the best they want to be in any situation they want to be in. And I'd be happy to give that to them.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for making that available and really following the prompting of your heart in that way to bring that gift forward for our listeners. So towards the end of the show, I will let all of you know how to access this generous gift that Scott has made available to us, so you can be that powerful state to support you on your journey. Well, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break here, so remember that next 2-minute moment to support you on your journey. And I encourage you to think about what Scott has shared and see how you can tap into your patience and your persistence and encourage yourself to keep moving forward. And even cheer yourself on as you are moving forward, giving yourself that gift of persistence and patience. I think sometimes we're really good at being patient with our friends, but not always with ourselves. So I encourage you to give yourself that gift. And when we come back, we will have our next exciting expert interview. Talk to you in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the Walk Star.
And I'm Kellie Ferry, the Theater Queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Tune in for Suzanne Ross and Lighten Up TV, evolutionary wellness for the body, mind, and spirit. Each episode features Suzanne and her amazing guests, including inspirational authors, speakers, wellness experts, and spiritual guides. This series is focused on achieving total well-being so that you can live well and love life. Visit lightenuptv.net to find out more. Lighten Up TV is presented by the Awakening Center, a nonprofit for those seeking a higher way of living and being. Don't miss out on living your best life now. Go to lightenuptv.net today.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you took advantage of those 2 minutes and took some time to really think about, have you been patient with yourself? Are you willing to take the time it takes to move forward in the areas that you're wanting to move forward, and be persistent about it? Be consistent. Keep moving forward in the direction and the areas that you're wanting to move forward. And it's worth being persistent. It's worth being patient with yourself. And I encourage throwing in a little celebration with that too, to encourage you on your journey. So let's take a moment and reconnect in. Beautiful. And you will have an opportunity for another 2-minute moment towards the end of this interview. But now I want us to center in and give our attention to this amazing expert. Her name is Kellie Hill. She is a best-selling author of 5 books, TV personality with over 50 TV shows under her belt, a nutritional therapy practitioner, ambassador for the American Heart Association, and she personally faced health challenges that brought her to near death several times. She battled back from near death and is passionate about helping others find their optimal health, lose whatever weight they're wanting to lose using whole foods. Please warmly welcome the amazing Kellie Hill to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. The crowd goes wild.
Raw, exactly. I love it. So I'm glad you could feel that crowd there, Kellie.
Well, didn't you say that we're supposed to, even when we need to, just for ourselves, support ourselves? So there you go. I'm supporting myself there.
And I celebrate you doing that. Wonderful. Well, I was wondering if you would take a moment to share a little bit of your why you care about helping people in this way, and why you've dedicated your life to doing so.
There's two reasons, actually. The first was I lived on the dark side for a long time. I ran McDonald's restaurants and 7-Eleven convenience stores, and it took me a long time to really find what health was, not just fast food, but real optimal health, and find a balance. So that started my journey. And once I was really well into that journey, I was thrown such a loop, because in 18 months, I had 2 heart attacks, bypass surgery, and a stroke, all before I turned 44, when I was in my peak optimal health, when everything should have been right. I mean, we read all this, and these are healthy things that I was doing, and yet there I was waking up in cardiac care unit. So I realized that health became a lot more than just what we eat, but every piece about how we live, just kind of like what Scott was saying there. It's much, much greater than just the diet that we eat. So it put me on a whole new journey that I hadn't anticipated. I thought I would only talk about food all my life, and now I found that there's so many more aspects to it. And yes, food is a huge piece, and I love being a nutritional therapy practitioner, but it's only one of the many legs on the stool that we call life.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And listeners, I just want you to think about that. Here she discovered, healthy eating, was doing all of those things to quote unquote be healthy, and still had these health challenges that she was hit and had to have bypass surgery and all of these things. And so led her to discover that there's so much more, and now is passionate about helping there's so much more, and the food and the healthy, so you can have that optimal health for you to really thrive in life, to tap into that vibrancy and vitality that you want. And one thing, Kellie, and this wasn't on the list, can I ask you a question outside of the list?
Sure.
I was just thinking, when something like that happens, I frequently hear people feel like their body betrayed them, or like you were saying, this came out of nowhere in a sense, it felt like, and suddenly you were broadsided by these health challenges when you were quote unquote being healthy and in your prime, in a sense, doing all these healthy activities. Did you ever feel like that and struggle with any emotions around that?
Oh my gosh, yes. I many times cried and was angry, and I think to some extent went through all the steps of grief, where I thought I had done everything right. How could this happen to me? But it does. It happens to everybody, or I shouldn't say everybody, but many people. And what we're finding as we do a lot of this research is there are so many more pieces to it than medical people ever expected. I mean, it's not as simple as just your cholesterol or just your blood sugar, or all these different pieces. I don't want to get too sciencey, but the reality is it's a very complex situation. And as I started doing that research, many health experts, more than 40 worldwide, joined me to kept saying, how is this possible? How are these things happening? And this science continues. People are still working on this today in both medical fields as well as alternative fields, complementary medicine. The whole arena is beginning to really take notice that our health is a lot more complicated than we ever thought. And I feel very fortunate to have all these medical experts, especially on my side, saying, this is ultimate health, and it's different than we thought it was before. So it's been fun, and I think it's a newer science that's going to continue as we learn more and more. But I do think when it blindsides us, it's partially blindsiding us because we just didn't know as much then. Every year we learn more and more. So it's also then giving that a break and saying, hey, we just didn't know. And now that we know more, we can make much better decisions.
I love that because we can't go back in time. We can move forward. And personally, it's exciting to me to hear so many medical experts and professionals joining forces with you and walking beside you as we find better and better ways to that ultimate health. So thank you for sharing. Now, I know you are a big proponent of whole foods. So why? What are whole foods for those who don't know? And why whole foods?
Well, whole foods are foods that are as close to their original way that they were raised or grown in the world. So I always tell people when we think about it, in my world, a strawberry is a great fruit. Just a plain strawberry as we think of it when we envision a strawberry. And then, you can smush it up and make some jam, and that's a little, that's fine. That's one step on the process. You can buy, some processed jam-type substance that has very little jam, but a lot of corn syrup and colorings, and that's a little further on the process. And then we can get to, let's go all the way to like a Pop-Tart that probably has no real strawberry left in it at all. So what we want to shoot for in my world is wherever somebody starts on that kind of continuum of food, I want them to move one step at least closer to the whole foods. As we move that direction and we keep going back so that we're eating real strawberries in their whole form rather than all the processed strawberry-like products that aren't really food, they're just, manufactured products. That's where we begin to find optimal health. That's where everything begins to come together because we know what we're putting in our body. We know how the biochemistry of those foods gets used in our body, and that allows us to figure out how to create health. Where when we start eating these processed, manufactured, weird foods, we don't really know what's happening with those in our body. These are chemicals that we're still identifying how that's going to happen in our body, what our body's going to do. The biochemistry of that is not as well known as it is with whole foods. So I want people to eat whole foods.
That makes perfect sense to me. So whole foods are closer to that strawberry versus all the way to a strawberry flavor or coloring type thing. So that's what we mean when we're saying whole foods. And then our body knows what to do with it and how to utilize that in our systems. And that's an important point that it hasn't even been discovered fully all of the effects these processed things and chemicals are going to have on our bodies long term. So we can mitigate that by eating more and more whole foods versus processed foods.
Right.
Now, our time goes so quickly here, so I was hoping you could share about your amazing gift that you prepared for our listeners today.
So the thing that people always ask me is, what are some secrets? And it's kind of what we're talking about today. So a few months ago, I put together a small book of the 25 top secrets to optimal health. And that is the book that I'm giving to your listeners. It's brand new. It's not something that you can go find out there. I put this together with the idea that people that were really interested, they would come to me and we could make this connection and get them some of these 25 secrets. And again, much like Scott was saying, then you can use one and get started on it. And then when you get that one, then you can go to the next one. So these just build on each other, and this can be something you do in 25 days or 25 years.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And who doesn't like to know the secrets, the scoop? So this is great. Thank you for making that available. And it's 25 secrets to optimal health. And I encourage you to lean in. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break here. When we come back, I'll be letting you know how to reach out to Scott, connect with him for his gift, as well as for Kellie's gift. So I encourage you to stay tuned, but take these next 2 moments just for you. We'll talk to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you, leaning into all that has been shared, thinking about the things that you're thankful for, thinking about, are you eating the strawberries, the whole food, or have you been eating things that perhaps a little more processed? And how can you take one step closer to the whole food side of the spectrum? So some great things to be thinking about, leaning into, really applying to your life, that persistence, that patience, and that encouragement, giving yourself the gift of the however long it takes is how long it takes, and being okay with that and at peace with that and honoring that. So I hope those are some of the things that you're taking away from our amazing time together. But I also wanted to follow up on a promise that I made you. I promised I would share how you could access Scott's generous gift, the recording that he's made specifically for each of you that was laid on his heart and he produced for each of you. And this is the same place you can locate Kellie's gift of those 25 secrets to help you towards optimal health. Here's where you go. It's radio, because you're listening to this on the radio gifts, and that's plural with an S, radiogifts.net, because it's a net full of gifts. So radiogifts.net. And you would scroll to today's date, which is September 27th. That's when we did the live broadcast of our show today. And you'll see Scott's picture. You're going to see Kellie's picture. You'll see the description of their gifts. And we've actually got it programmed in. When you click on Scott's link, it will generate that email to him automatically. So we wanted to make that really easy for you. And then Kellie, you'll be able to click on her link as well. But when you go to radiogifts.net, you enter in your name and your email address so we can stay in touch. You scroll down to today's date, September 27th, and click on the amazing gifts. And we do this because I want you to be able to have forward momentum in your life. I want you to have tools and resources that you can use, not just during our time on the show, but actually in your life to support you on your journey. I encourage you to be willing to receive those generous gifts to support you on your journey. Again, that's radiogifts.net. behind the scenes, I asked my two guests if they had another tip or suggestion or something that was laying on their heart that they wanted to share with each of you today. And they said yes. So I'm going to turn over the microphone here to Scott. Scott, what would you like to share with our listeners?
I think the thing I'd like to leave them with, your listeners, to share is start writing down what you want. Write it out in your own handwriting, not typed on your iPad or your computer. We know neuroscience has taught us that there's great power in writing things out in our own handwriting. We know that when we write things out in our own handwriting, we believe them to be true, even if they're not true yet. And write them out in your own handwriting in the present tense as if you've already owned them, using words like I am and I have. And when you write these things out, they become your future realities. So write them out on a consistent basis and make that impact on your conscious and your subconscious mind, and the repetition over and over, and allow this story you're creating on a piece of paper to become your reality.
Beautiful. Write it down. And is it helpful for them to be clear? Does that matter? How specific do they need to be, I guess, as they do this?
Well, the more specific, the better. And what I tell my clients is let the story evolve. If you're working on it all the time, all of a sudden something pops in your head. Add some more detail to it. It's like you're writing this magnificent novel that's never quite complete. And when you get to where you want to be, you're going to add more things to it. So it's this never-ending novel of the greatness of your life and the richness of your life.
I love that. The novel of your life. Beautiful. Thank you, Scott. I love it.
You're welcome.
And then, Kellie, did you have something to share with us today?
I do. I like immediate action. That's the kind of person I am. So what I would like to do is recommend that everybody try a simple test at home to help them identify exactly how much water they really need. Because even when we have 1% dehydration, it seriously affects our metabolism, which is going to affect your health, your weight loss, the wrinkles on your face, the cellulite, everything. So the easiest thing you can do is make sure you're getting enough water. And there's no one math formula that's going to work for everybody. So here's what you do to find out how much you really need. So everybody has to stand up.
Okay, and we're going to do this real time, right?
Real time.
Okay.
And then stand up. Let your arms hang to your side so that the back of your hand is facing towards you so you can see the back of your hand, because this is as easy as knowing the back of your hand. All you're going to do is look down and find a vein that you can see well, something that is identifiable, and maybe even if it's pushy out just a little bit, that's a very technical word there, pushy out, a little puffy, take a look at it and touch it so that you feel the back of your hand, see the back of your hand, and then real slowly raise it up parallel to the floor until it reaches about the level of your shoulder, so just above your heart, and then look at the same vein. If it looks exactly the same, congratulations, you're fully hydrated, you're getting enough water. If the vein collapsed, then you need more water. So if people do that, they'll know exactly how much water that they need to drink, and then they'll get fully hydrated, they'll have tons more energy, feel great, start working toward that optimal health, something they can do at home anytime they want.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, Kellie spoke at one of my events recently, one of our women's empowerment events, and it was so fun as everyone started doing that. I don't know if you noticed, Kellie, but they continued to do that. Actually, after the event, they were still checking their hydration levels.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So a beautiful tip and share, and something that we did real time. So if you notice that you need a little more water, guess what? There's an immediate action you can take. So thank you for sharing that tip.
Of course.
Listeners, I want to thank all of you for joining us, spending some of your valuable time with us as we come together, connected heart to heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, looking at how we can step forward powerfully in life. I encourage you to build those 2-minute moments into your life, to take time to support you on your journey in life. Remember, it is not a solo journey, and your gifts, talents, exactly how you're made is absolutely needed in the world. I encourage you to lean into the gifts that our amazing guests have made available to you today. Lean into you. If you have been waiting for the book, Come Out of Hiding and Shine, it will be released in 2 hours. So I encourage you to lean into that as well. And what I want to absolutely make sure that you do is to remember how valuable and needed you are in the world, that you take care of you, that you build support around you in your life, so that wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.